Hey, welcome back everybody. So today I'm going to do another indie game video. I put together a list of 5 indie games I think you guys should check out. Some of these are already out now, and some of these are going to be coming out sometime in the future. They don't all have a release date, but I wanted to show these off because these all look very interesting. Also, keep in mind, only one of these I have played. The other one that I'm going to talk about that is currently out, I just realized is currently out, and so I will be playing that here in the very near future. All right, without any more delay, I'm going to go ahead and show you 5 indie games you should definitely check out and keep an eye on. So the first game I'm going to talk about today is Abathor. Now, this is the one that I realize is out now, and it came out back in July, and I didn't even realize that. For some reason, I thought this game was still in development, but nope, it's out, and it looks really good. You know me, I've already talked about how I love the sword and sorcery genre, and this has that old school look, you know, the 16-bit days, but has a Conan slash sword and sorcery aesthetic to it, and I will definitely be downloading this more than likely today, and I'm going to be playing this. And let me know if this is something you want to see me stream. I will definitely do that. It looks really good, and I'm going to play it. One thing I think is great too is it does remind me of a little bit of Golden Axe, which, you know, I've talked about in a Retro Spotlight video. In their actual description, they say Abathor is a challenging 2D action platforming for solo play for up to 4 players. That's awesome. Embark on an epic 16-bit quest inspired by Golden Axe, Rastion, and Castlevania 4. Traverse Atlantis, battle demons, and defeat vicious bosses to save your progress. Enjoy an amazing OST from classic era musicians. So if that description doesn't get you to want to play it, I don't know what else will. All right, so the next game I'm going to talk about is another sword and sorcery-esque type of game. It is called Age of Barbarians Chronicles. This is by Koreansoft, and I am very familiar with this developer. In fact, I played 2 of their previous game, Age of Barbarian and Age of Barbarian Arena. Both are really good. I highly recommend downloading and getting those games if you get a chance, especially if sword and sorcery is your thing. Now, back when they first started their Patreon, I did subscribe to that for a little while, and I did play a couple of early builds of this game, and so far what I played was really good. It looks like they've actually added some RPG mechanics and an inventory system as well, and it looks really good. I highly recommend it. I've been keeping an eye on this for a couple of years now. They have pushed the release date back a couple of times, but you know, I'm okay when developers do that because I want them to take the time to make the game as solid as they can make it. But anyway, Koreansoft has made some pretty good games, especially in the Age of Barbarian series, and I highly recommend it, and definitely check them out on Steam. All right, and continuing on with the theme of sword and sorcery, it looks like we got another game here called Valeria, the Pagan Priestess. This has been on my wish list, I know, for a little while, and I bring it up because, again, kind of like Abathor, it's got the old school 16-bit kind of look, very much inspired by Golden Axe. It looks very bloody, and I've also noticed that there's also a top-down view based on the trailer that I saw, so there's a little bit of Adventure of Link in there, it looks like. I don't know a whole lot about this game. There's a small description on the Steam page, and it looks like it's been in development for a while, but definitely wishlist this and check it out. It looks really fun. I like old school games, of course, you know, growing up back in the day with, you know, Nintendo and Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and those kinds of things. You know, these are the games that really reach out to me, and I highly recommend checking this game out, or at the very least wishlist it and keep an eye on it, and then I'll probably even touch on this more as they release more information about it. All right, so now we're going to shift gears and talk about a couple of horror games. The first one is Echoes of the Living. Now, looking at the Steam page here, it looks very, very reminiscent of the old school Resident Evil horror games and the way it looks and plays. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and read off a list of features here. It says fixed camera angles, classic tank controls, character relative, or motion control camera relative. So they're giving you both options. Puzzles, limited inventory management, backtracking, save room and item storage, multiple multiple stories with their own point of view. I kind of like that. All types of enemies, from bloodthirsty zombies, mutated Fuana, whatever that means, to other nightmare fuel creatures. Fully 3D environment with current gen graphics. Walk over dark and bloody streets, shady exteriors, implementing buildings such as the hospital, art gallery, and the city hall, the theater, and try to find out what's going on. Wide arsenal to adapt to your playstyle. Weapon and equipment upgrades to reward the player. That's nice. In-game unlockables and immersive OST inspired by the classics. So yeah, pretty much it just described Resident Evil, but it looks like they're still keeping to doing their own story and their own thing, and it looks really, really good. It's basically like if they actually remastered Resident Evil 2, but kept it the way it originally was. In fact, looking at the gameplay that they're showing so far, it kind of gives me the feel of the Resident Evil remake they did on the GameCube, and I had a lot of fun with that, and I loved playing that game. So yeah, definitely keep an eye out on this one. It looks like it's due to come out later this year. All right, and now the last game I'm going to talk about is MiSide. Now, if for those of you who have already been following me and may have come to the live stream, yes, I have played this one. I have actually played it and beat it. I'm going to go through the game again. I hear that if you do certain things at the beginning of the game, you can unlock a peaceful mode. But this game, don't let it fool you. It looks like a sweet, positive, fun, rainbow, anime waifu game at first glance, but underneath the surface is a horror game. Now, like I said, there is a peaceful mode, and you can unlock that by completing all the objectives at the beginning and then making the decision to stay with Mita, or you can do what most people probably do and check out things that you're not supposed to check out and then decide not to stay with her, which if you didn't complete all those objectives, you can't do that option anyway, and that will send you down an entire rabbit hole of a nightmare-fueled quest to get to the core and go through all the different versions of the game. So there's multiple metas out there, and some are trying to help you, and some, well, not so much. The game will take you through some different sequences in which you have to solve some puzzles, which are pretty easy. There are also some mini games like an arcade, which, funnily enough, if you decide to play the arcade, the Mita that's sitting in the same room that is trying to help you will scold you for choosing to play the game before talking to her. But you have no choice. If you want to play that arcade, you want to do that first. There's also a section of the game that very much reminded me of the PT demo, where you're going through a loop over and over in the same hallway, and the more you keep going through the hallway, the darker and weirder things get. I'm not going to tell you how to get out of it. You'll eventually figure it out, but it's definitely one of my favorite sequences of the game. Another sequence in the game will have you running down a hallway with a Mita chasing you with a chainsaw, and you want to be avoiding objects and pressing the button at the right time to jump over things. Overall, I would say this is more of an experience than it really is a game, because the game really does take it easy with the puzzles and things like that. It is very enjoyable, and if you want to give yourself like a good psychological scare, I highly recommend this game, and you'll end up wanting to play it multiple times. Like I said, check out my live stream that I did. I have 2 parts to the game if you're interested in seeing more about it. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video. So that's 5 more indie games you guys should definitely check out. If you guys have any suggestions for games that I should talk about, especially if they're indies, definitely let me know in the comments below. I want to do more videos like this so I can help get the developers' games out there and so people can see that it's there, because that's one thing I really want to do, is I want to help these indie developers get their products out there and known, and so people can check them out. Alright guys, and as always, if you have enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.